Hello and welcome to Still Eligible. I am Jack Pattis to my left, and we are back in the ideation room after a month of preparing for the college football season. We are geared up, strapped up, overalled up, and ready to roll. We are going to Wisconsin this weekend. College football, 14, 15 weeks in a row. Us on the road, giving you the coverage that you want, that you asked for, that you didn't ask for, and everything in between. So, what do you say we hop on into it?
Give you one of these.
I don't deserve that, Pat. We're going to just address the elephant in the room from the start. We recorded 20 minutes of this. Well, we did not record. Visually recorded the first 20 minutes of this podcast. I never pressed record. Sandra's in the room. Sandra, she taught us how to use the audio. Well, she didn't teach us well enough. She taught me how to use the audio mixer. Sandra, she's leaving us. We appreciate everything you've done for us.
Appreciate her.
But I never pressed record. And
I love how she was walking us through everything, and we were taking a video on our phones of like all these intricate steps, and then we didn't press record.
We just finished appreciation. And then I go, you want to know something that's really going to piss you off, Pat? And he goes, what? And I go, I never pressed record.
Someone's going to look into it like it's...
You want to know something that's really going to piss you off, Pat?
What's that?
You see this button that's green?
Oh.
That's good. Oh, man. That being said, we are well prepared for the fall, people.
Yeah.
We are ready to roll to Wisconsin.
This is a fine-tuned operation.
Don't worry about that. We're going to Minnesota. No, Minnesota plays Ohio State tonight, if you're listening to this on Thursday, because you should be, because we drop new podcasts every Thursday. And also, Pat, do you want to tell them or do you want me to tell them?
I don't know what you're referencing, so why don't you tell?
We drop new podcasts every Thursday.
Oh, yeah. I'll say the Tuesday part. We're going to start doing Tuesday episodes, too, and Thursdays.
Tuesday, Thursday, twice a week, 2 times still eligible. Yeah. 2 of us, 2 podcasts, twice a week, previewing the games we're going to and recapping where we're coming from. Hopefully that we both make it back alive. So
yeah, I think we
wow,
will.
What a wild first 2 minutes and 51 seconds of this podcast.
I see that the red button's on, though, so that's
the
good.
red button's on, and I'm buttoned up. We appreciate you. Oh, my. I'm sorry. That was aggressive. For those of you listening for the first time or those of you who have missed us, we are right where we left off. So, one thing, speaking of that, we didn't cover because of our preparation gap and not doing a podcast for a few weeks was the Olympics, Pat.
Yeah, and I know last time you had some super detailed notes.
Yeah.
Do you have anything kind of written up about that?
Yeah, I just have one note.
Okay.
It's that the Olympics happened and they're over.
Nice.
Anyways.
Yeah, so Appreciate You is our segment we do where we use your catchphrase. I know you're thrilled to be using it all over the country this fall.
Let's get it.
And we let people know in sports, sometimes outside of sports, that we appreciate what they did or accomplished during the week. So this one's very on brand. I'll go first. Zeb Noland, grad assistant in South Carolina, now is the starting quarterback at South Carolina because their quarterback got injured. He is not just a coach, though. He has playing experience at Iowa State and North Dakota State. So very much epitomizes what Still Eligible is all about.
Yeah. Surprised he's not an NC State.
Yeah.
That was a horrible joke.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're trying to do there.
There were 2 state schools, and now he's at.
Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
So
I figure that, I think teams will probably start carrying grad assistants on the roster who could play as a contingency plan.
Yeah, I don't, but that sounds good.
I also just this is like a subset Appreciate You for compliance officers, given all the NIL stuff.
Appreciate them?
No, I do. It's like a bullet point. So like if you could see my outline, it's kind of like an indented. The bullet points you can like indent them. So it's not a full Appreciate You.
I'm looking at your Appreciate
Well,
You.
okay, I'll indent it right now. They're indented. Compliance officers also appreciate you because that's a tough job right now with NIL and all these added things they got to worry about. I'm sure his eligibility situation was probably a little complicated. But wish him the best of luck. Zeb Noland, appreciate you.
Zeb. You know what Zeb spelled backwards is? Bez. Speaking of compliance issues and trying to figure out what's going on with who's eligible and whatnot, I'm going to take your Zeb Nolan and raise you one J.R. Smith. 2-time NBA Finals champion, $90 million in his pockets. He's a walk-on at North Carolina A&T golf team.
Well, I mean, just like, I mean, I want a reality show, first of all, following him around.
Yeah, I mean, they better up the social coverage down there at North Carolina A&T golf.
That SID was not prepared probably for that news.
But, I mean, never played college basketball. He committed to North Carolina, won co-MVP with Dwight Howard in the McDonald's All-American game, went pro. So, I mean, I've always been a JR fan, minus that one game where he called a timeout. But
Sandra just gave me a look like, don't bring that up.
Yeah, I brought it up. But we won the finals with him. He didn't wear a shirt for like a month.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. And, he went on Instagram Live the other day and was just in the student union taking photos, taking selfies, meeting kids. He just got out of a team meeting, and then he was saying how he had to go home. And he got in his car with his wife, and he's like, I got to go home and do homework. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
And hung up. But, I mean, who would have thought? Here we are, J.R. Smith back in college, playing a different sport. Pat, if you had to pick one athlete, perhaps, professional athlete, to go back to college and play a different sport, who would it be? What school? Why? I don't know. Rolling with it.
Go back and play a different sport. I would like to see Shaquille O'Neal as a left tackle.
Oh, my gosh. Could you imagine?
No, but I'd
That'd
like to see it.
Whoever the quarterback at LSU at that time would just be the next Joe Burrow, or the OG Joe Burrow. Burrow.
You'd have not unlimited time in the pocket, but you'd have much more.
Yeah. I like that call.
Thanks.
Do you want to know who I would have?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. That's the whole reason I asked the question, was
Got
to answer it.
Cool.
LeBron James, Ohio State wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen. He was pretty good.
He was a beast. I saw him play in high school a few times. I don't remember the football as much as basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, you'd assume he's pretty athletic, and that might work well for him. So.
Yeah, he's a pretty decent athlete. So, Dallas summer, Jack, it's been a little rough.
Pat, are you going to let me say J.R. Smith? Appreciate you.
I guess I will.
All right, J.R. Smith. Appreciate you.
So, Jack, Dallas summer's been a little rough.
Sure has, Pat.
My next appreciate you.
I'm just checking to make sure we're still recording.
Yeah, are we?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so is the camera is the camera on too? Jeez. Are the lights on?
Lights on. No
is the
one's
air on?
The air is not on.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the heat has been rough here. My appreciate is fall. Because, yes, it is football season. We're about to go to 15 different games, 15 different campuses. My favorite time of the year. I think you're a big,
I'm a big fall guy. We talked about this the first time we recorded this. I love long sleeves and shorts. You could bury me in a quarter zip and shorts, and I will be happy for eternity.
All right. I'll make a note of that. But, just being from the Midwest, obviously I'm from Michigan, you're from Ohio. We're looking forward to, experiencing the fall across the country in some different climates. So fall, appreciate you.
Yeah, everyone does fall a little bit different. People don't talk about that enough, Pat.
No, they really don't. It's a real sore spot for me. So
yeah, it really grinds my gears. Speaking of, I don't even know. Speaking of something, Bishop Sycamore. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say. We haven't done a depreciation in a while.
Yeah,
I was a lot cleaner on that transition.
We did
one 20 minutes.
20 minutes ago. I love how you keep looking over.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We were way more efficient this time around.
Yes,
I think Bishop Sycamore. We haven't done a depreciation in a while, but this one is well earned. Bishop Sycamore tricked ESPN into televising their game. If you haven't seen this, I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but these are grown men losing 58-0 to Ohio high schoolers. They lost not Ohio high schoolers, to high schoolers. They lost 38-0 to another Ohio high school. But their coach has an arrest warrant out for him in Delaware, Ohio. He's from the home of Ohio Westland. Ohio Westland's in Delaware, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
They are the Battling Bishops, where maybe they got the Bishop Sycamore name because Bishop Sycamore is not a real person. I saw a video on social media of these two players sharing a helmet. The one guy was running off the field and just tossed it to, they didn't even look like they were the same size, roughly. I mean, I wasn't measuring the circumference of their head, but you know how it is. And then, I mean, it's just a mess. The players were given blueprints of a future school that was going to be built. They stayed in a hotel for a while. They lived on the ground for a while. They were robbing grocery stores to survive. They were telling their parents they were going to school. They weren't going to school. I don't even know. Some of these kids are 19, 20. Like, they graduated high school and came back. The coach was scamming churches. Shout out Roy Johnson. I don't know. That ain't good, man. Good luck.
The memes were all time, I'll say.
Yes.
And then I think when people are posting about something in sports and it's across people who never tweet about sports or never post about sports, that's when you know it's kind of a big deal, and that was the case this week. Everyone was talking about it. Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
It's weird. It's wild. It's our high school. I was saying this earlier. This is just weird talking. I've already said this twice today. Sundrup and I at high school, they played them week 1, and a few people I was talking to, they've won 4 out of the 5 last state championships, so they're a pretty big deal around the Akron area. Shout us out, Archbishop Hoban. But I was talking to a few people before week 1, and they were just saying we're playing this team from Columbus, Bishop Sycamore, and we're a real archbishop. We've never even heard of Bishop Sycamore. It's not a real thing. All this stuff, and they came in. And we hosed them 38-0. But I mean, I saw somewhere they don't even practice. They just show up to games. Which I'm
they played.
What is the end goal here?
They played.
Just get on ESPN and call it a day.
They played twice in 3 days. It's truly
they've got a tough schedule. They travel the country.
They're
too.
playing legit. I mean, this is the definition of this. I would say this younger generation, but they're our age. It's all about clout these days. So they're literally just playing for clout to get on ESPN
I'd
do this.
suit up to get on ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
I don't know about 2 games in 3 days. That sounds unhealthy.
Yeah, you need an ice bath or 2.
Yeah. So Bishop Sycamore. I mean, this is not the last time we'll talk about Bishop Sycamore. No. The guy's done. Roy Johnson.
There's going to be more stuff that. I mean, I seen that article that was just crazy about all of this. The robbing grocery stores is absolutely insane. I'm sure there's more stuff that we'll find out that we don't currently know, but yeah,
not to condone that by any means.
Feel bad for the kids, obviously, who got duped, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, also I think I'd last a day and be all right,
I'm leaving. There's no school, so
yeah. Some people didn't come here to play school, Pat, but Bishop Sycamore depreciate you. Boom. All right, well, that's our appreciate you segment. We got a few more things on today's podcast. We're going to take a break. On the other side of the break, still eligible 2021 all-name team. We've taken a look at all the best names in college football. We've broken them down. We ran the numbers. This is Power 5 elite names, quarterback through punter. So you're not going to want to miss this. I'm going to fade the music. I'm going to press stop recording, and then we're going to come back. So bear with me.
You can do it.
And welcome back. It is time to get into our all names team 2021. We looked at the names across the country. There's some wild names on here, Pat, and we really broke them down for the people, and I'm excited to share what we've got. This is a solid team. I don't know how they perform in the field. I mean, some people are good.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be the best team. We should clarify this is Power 5. So there were some people outside of the Power 5 who had great names, but unfortunately we had to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, The quarterback was outside the Power 5, but we left him off the list.
Yeah.
Well, you want to get things going, Pat?
I'll go first. So at quarterback, sounds like someone whose dad might be a lawyer. His name's Jackson Dart.
Yeah. With an X.
Yeah, with an X. Kind of reminds me of that meme. It's like the lady with the hat, and she's like on the way to pick up, Braxton Paxton, my sons, everyone. I don't understand how they name people and spell kids' names these days.
People are wild.
It's wild. So Jackson Dart, quarterback,
USC. All right, well, my first one's got to be a Buckeye. We're starting at Ohio State, running back Master Teague III. I mean, he's been around, but that's just that's a solid name. It's a strong name, Master Teague. Like, if your name is Master, you got to be good at something. If your name's Master, you're not good at anything, your name shouldn't be Master.
You got to change your name. He's also, obviously his name's Master. He's jacked.
Oh, he's a tank.
Yeah.
We'll get into that leads me into my next running back from Auburn, Tank Bigsby. He's SEC Freshman of the Year, first team All SEC running back and all purpose. The dude's a beast. He's got moves. He's not a tank necessarily, but he hits that corner and will just beat you on the outside. This could be one of the best running backs in the country, besides our guys Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, whatever. But Tank Bigsby, that's just an all-time name.
Yeah. Great names. Keep going. We got Fat Watts from Tulane.
Yeah.
And all I got to say about him is, when you burn fat, it requires a lot of energy. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why he's a wide receiver.
Yep.
My first wide receiver is Ridge Texada. I think Ridge is just a solid name, a good name, not a name you come across all the time. And Texada is just boom. This is a solid name. He's a North Texas guy. Goes to North Texas. Solid name.
Yeah. I got LaRon Husbands. He's actually a freshman from Maryland.
Is he married?
He's not married, but he does have dad strength.
Boom. Like that. All right, our first offensive lineman from Iowa, David Davidkoff. Come on.
Yeah,
That's what are you doing there, Mom and Dad?
Yeah, come on.
You're 10 and you're getting made fun of because you've got two David Davidkoff. Come on.
It's got to be. It's got to be. I would say he, it might have been rough, but he probably, was bigger than the other kids.
Yeah, there's some worse names on this list than David Davidkoff.
Sure. So, I got next up from Auburn, we have Brodarius Ham. Sounds kind of like the Pokemon evolution of a bro. From bro to Brodarius.
Ham. Ham's a good name. Strong name. Good meat. Deli meat.
Yeah.
I like that.
Next guy. I should also say we did a snake draft for this.
We did. Was this your first pick?
I don't know if this
we
was
picked this a while ago.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was my first pick, but it's a strong pick nonetheless. Bear Hunter, Bear spelled Baer, from Appalachian State. Just a pretty wild dude.
That's an all-time name. Why does Appalachian State ring a bell, Pat?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay.
It's not the anniversary of any important games on the day we're recording this podcast. So let's move along and do your next pick.
Yeah, I'll
never reference it again.
I'll be gentle. I'm sorry. Speaking of which, our next offensive lineman, his name is Gentle Williams. He just sounds like a big old teddy bear. Gentle Williams. What a name. What a guy. Cal, offensive lineman. Yeah, he just seems like someone you want to hang out with and, I don't know, just hang out with. Seems like a good, calm, down-to-earth guy.
He probably shouldn't give bear hugs and teddy bear hugs on the field because that would be holding.
Yep.
My next one is Dylan Death Rage from Western Michigan. Sounds like a super nice guy.
Yeah, there's no way he doesn't like screamo music.
No, not a chance.
Dylan Death Rage. That's the kind of guy that worked at what is that place called? Like one of those places where like they sell like used CDs. You walk in there and like what is it like a GameStop or it's not GameStop. GameStop's too mainstream.
Like Radio Shack?
Nah, Spencer's. Spencer's is good. I like that. I like that call. I was thinking more of like, I don't know, somewhere it's like you got an old like whatever Madden 2001. You want to sell
GameStop?
No, not Game. It's like, is that GameStop?
Yeah, GameStop's where you sell video games. Like they give you like terrible deals.
There you go.
And they went like
Dylan Deathrage.
Yeah.
But there's some places that do like beyond just games. I don't know. They do music and games and DVDs and besides the point.
Sure.
Shout out Deathrage. Hot Rod Fitting. South Carolina. I mean, Hot Rod is all time. Fitting is a good. It fits, you know.
Yeah.
Hot Rod Fitting. South Carolina D lineman. I mean, if your name could be Hot Rod anything, and you'd make this list. I would have 11 Hot Rods on here if I could. So I think he's the only Hot Rod I came across. So shout him out, Hot Rod Fitting.
Yeah. Sheeta Silla.
You say Cheetah?
Sheeta. That's my pronunciation here. Boston College. That's all I got to say about him.
Sheeta?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on then, Pat.
Next one is DeAndre Dingle Prince from Appalachian State.
You just picked all the Appalachian State ones, didn't you?
Yeah. Guess I did.
With a name like Dingle Prince, I mean, that's a strong name. Dingle Prince.
Might be royalty.
Dingle Prince.
You got a great one on this next one.
I think this was my first pick. You had first overall pick, and I think we're about to get to him in a few. But this was my first pick, and it's Fish Mcwilliams. Fish Mcwilliams from UAB. The dude weighs 315 pounds. That's a big-ass fish.
Mm-hmm.
You got to throw that guy back in.
Yeah. With fishing regulations being the way they are, you have to. You'll get in trouble.
Don't get me started on fishing regulations, Pat.
Yeah.
But Fish McWilliams, that's an all-time name. Fish Mc you could put Fish Mc anything. You could put Fish McDingle Prince. That's an all-time name.
I mean, he'd definitely be on the list.
Fish McWilliams, 315. Yeah, I mean, boom. Love that.
How much do you think he weighs soaking wet?
He's probably lighter in the water. Oh, moving on. First linebacker, another Buckeye. This is an all-time name. I've loved and appreciated this name for many years now. Steel Chambers. I mean, it's just a strong. I think like the Buckeyes just have the strongest names on here. Master Teague, Steel Chambers. That sounds like two guys you do not want to mess with.
No. You don't want to. You don't want to be in an Oklahoma drill against them.
No, you don't want to be in
you don't want to be in a brawl.
No, you want to be on their side.
You want to be on their side.
Anyways, next one. Not me. Linebacker, Arkansas. Bumper Pool. I just want to let that sink in.
Yeah.
Bumper Pool. Sounds like a hustler. I mean, literally named after a pool table. I don't know. That is wild. And he's supposedly pretty good. I mean, the Arkansas fans love him. And, I mean, he seems like a guy that needs to have one of those cowboy collars on. So,
yeah, I feel
Bumper
like he shouldn't be allowed to play unless he wears an old school cowboy collar with that kind of name.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not going to pronounce this correctly. Ma'a Gaute.
Just spell it for the people, Pat.
MA''A, obviously a space because that comes in between first names and last names. Gaoteote from Michigan State. I just want to say it's pretty hard to articulate this guy's abilities or his name.
Boom.
Not a lot of film on him. Also hard to pronounce his name.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he went to Bishop Sycamore, if I remember correctly.
There actually probably is a decent amount of film on him. It's just I can't pronounce his name. So,
all right. Well, our first DB. I think our DB list might be the best group of four.
Imagine coaching this
These next four
group?
guys. So I'll kick things off. Auburn DB, Smoke Monday. You just got smoked. I mean, this is a football name if I've ever heard one. He lays a mean hit stick. Smoke Monday? Are you kidding me? He's on the Jim Thorpe Award for top DB, but I mean, that's a first team name. So
he might be the MVP of our team when it's all said and done.
You never know. Those Auburn guys are good too. Shout out Tank Bigsby.
Although, now I'm looking at the next name. I might regret that a little bit. It's from his rival. It's from Alabama, Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah.
We all know about his NIL deal with Kool-Aid.
Yes, that's the best deal I've seen so far.
That little graphic of the Kool-Aid man, with
handshake,
the breaking the brick wall. One of the early kind of memes, I would say, that everybody knows. Just an awesome name. Just an awesome name. We got to update the soundboard. This serves as a reminder. We got to put some stuff on the soundboard. Maybe we'll add that. But
that was your first pick, for the record.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you're going to remind the people.
No, I'm old and I don't have a good memory. So.
All right, our next guy is a DB from North Carolina. I'm pumped for North Carolina. I think they're going to have a big year this year. You paying attention to me? What are you doing over there?
Just pinning the tweet.
All right, our cornerback, Storm Duck, elite name. He's ready to get his bread. Suffered an injury last year, but is considered to be a top 10 cornerback this year. I said Revis Island, more like Duck Pond. Don't come on the pond. Storm Duck, elite name. Storm Duck, beautiful name.
I'm going to look up his 24/7 profile later and see if he got recruited by Oregon.
Can only hope. I mean, with a name like that, you got to give him an offer.
Next one, keeping the trend of defensive backs having the best names, Pig Cage from LSU.
This is a real name.
Does not mind getting dirty.
No, he does not. That is Pig Cage. I mean, that's just.
I mean, he's a lockdown corner.
I mean, that's just an unfortunate name.
Yeah. Like
Pig
you're not
Cage?
you're not getting out of there.
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
That's a brutal name. Do you think they called him Piglet when he was a little kid?
I hope so.
When his mom watched a movie with them and tucked them in bed, do you think she said, "That's my pig in a blanket"?
Once again, I really hope so.
Do you think when he was eating Jell-O, his mom said, "Look at the little Piggly Wiggly"?
Why Jell-O?
Jell-O's wiggly. Do you have anything else?
That's between you and your brain, man.
Do you think when he... do you think if he's making cookies, you call that bacon?
Oh, this fall is going to be fun.
Wait, I got to have one more in me. If he gains some weight, is he considered a porker? What's that book? Like the children's book. Huff and Puff.
Charlotte's Web.
No, Charlotte's Web. You think if he got stuck in Charlotte's Web, he'd be what? No, I was talking about the Huff and Puff and Blow This House Down. What is that called?
Oh, Three Little Pigs.
You think he's got two other friends named Pig? All right, that was the worst one. Anyways, Connor Assalley from Iowa State is our kicker. I believe it's pronounced Assalley, but it's spelled Assalley. So he's a 4-year kicker at Iowa State. Shout out walk-ons. He's a walk-on. He's 205, so he's got that lower body build that you're looking for in a kicker. And there's all kinds of hype around Iowa State this year. I don't know if I'm in on that or whatnot, but Big 12 doesn't play defense, so I expect big things from Connor this year. He's going to be key. I think he's going to kick a game winner this year. He had a game winner against Texas in 2019, 36-yarder, upset the world, shut him out, and his career long is 50 yards. So I'm going to go out there and say he's going to beat his career long of 50, and he's going to kick a game winner. And if he misses, I say put his Astley on the bench.
I'm going to end it, and I only picked this one because you had to read the previous one. I have nothing to say about him other than that he went to UNLV. Charlton Butt.
Butt and Astley. Special teams.
That's our all-name team.
Special something.
Who do you think the MVP is?
Okay. Fish McWilliams.
It's a good choice.
How about you?
I like Pig Cage.
I'm in Pig Cage all the time.
What do we got next?
Up next, we got something coming up this year that we're very excited about. We might have people submit some ideas, some, what do you call it, categories as the year goes on. We're going to do a college football award show once the season's all said and done. We're going to call it the Ellies. A lot of it might be about, our experiences on the road or just things that happen in college football, but we're pumped about it. We got a few categories already. Pat, you want to tell them some of them before we get going here?
Yeah, we got the Reggie Ball Award, and that's, obviously seemed like he was in college for 10 years. We're going to give an award to the player who we're still kind of figuring these out a little bit, but just probably our favorite player who seems like he's been around for longer than he should be. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the NIL deal of the year, obviously Kool-Aid McKinstry, an early favorite for that one, but there's still plenty of time left on that front.
William Braswell, fan of the year.
Yeah.
No watch list yet, but we're on the lookout. So if you're at any of the schools that we're going to and you want kind of a formula for how to win that award, just check out our College World Series coverage with William Braswell.
Just be William Braswell.
Be William Braswell and you'll win it.
My favorite award, it's the Two Jacks Award. Someone who weighs 2 times as much as I do. There's a bunch of different guys out there. I don't think it's really going to change much. But, those guys, keep an eye out on them. We're going to keep an eye out on them. They're 360-plus pounds. So
we got we're going to do an upset of the year. Obviously, we'll assess that after the season. But sure,
there's bound to be at least one.
There's going to be one. So
this one should be fun. Tailgate food of the year. We're traveling around all these different schools. One of the things I'm excited about is trying a bunch of different foods around the country, what people are known for. We're not going to tell you where we're going by any means, but this week, cheese curds, brats, beer, just some good old Midwestern food, something that we know and love, and so I'm not had too many cheese curds, if any. I'm not counting it out, but Sheets makes some cheese curds, but I'm pumped for those. So tailgate food of the year. That should be a cool award.
Tradition of the year, obviously, we're going to talk about this in a little bit in the podcast, but at each of these schools, we're trying to be a part of the traditions that make the schools and make the campuses and the programs awesome. And at the end of the year, we're going to decide, what was our favorite
tradition.
Yeah,
that's fair. Best hair. Shout out Zachary Waldrop. I did this in Omaha, and it was weird. I'm not going to lie, but I think we got some good traction from it. So we're going to keep it rolling, keep it stroking, and see where it gets us come postseason.
And we'll have more than the ones we're
that's
talking.
just a few.
These are
just a few. Yeah.
These are just a few.
Yeah, like you said, if you have ideas, if you have, we see something on Twitter, we're gonna be working these games. This game in Madison's at 11 o'clock Central. So, the noon kickoffs on the East Coast, we're going to be missing those. So if you want to send us some stuff, send us, ideas or people that you think that could win a certain category, or, maybe it's a fan of the year that we don't even see or meet. It's someone that's just tearing it up, flossing in the 5th row. I don't know. So feel free to pass those along.
Yeah, just tag us when you see ridiculous college football or sports in general related stuff. If you want us to talk about, or DM us, we'll talk about it on the podcast. We'll talk about it in our social stuff.
People pod.
We're trying to find crazy stuff.
All right, well, we're going to take a break real quick. When we come back, we're going to talk to you about the locks of the week. Pat and I have a few locks each, our CFP picks, our national championship pick, and then give you one little tradition that we're going to excited about from Wisconsin, two actually, one for each of us, and then we'll send you on your way. So we'll be right back.
We're back. We got a new segment called Locks of the Week. We're going to pick 5 games, maybe some prop bets later in the season.
Yep.
And we believe strongly in these picks, hence why they're locks.
We'll keep a running total throughout the year and see who wins. I mean, I don't know. We kind of picked some against each other here, which you love to see. So why don't you get things kicked off for us, Pat?
All right, so the game we're going to, obviously, Wisconsin and Penn State. I've got Wisconsin at -5.5. I think that Graham Mertz is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten. Obviously, they're known for their offensive line. They're replacing 2 starters, but I think that they just kind of rebuild and reload. And the stadium being at full capacity, I'm very excited to obviously experience it firsthand, but I think that's going to factor in here. Penn State started 0-4 last year. I know they rebounded at the end of the year, and they're gonna be good this year. But I think that Wisconsin gets that.
There we go. All right. Well, I'm taking the other side of the equation. I'm taking Penn State +5.5. Jack Cohn out, Graham Mertz in. I like that. I think that the game, the experience, everything about Madison, I am hyped for. I think that they're going to win the game. I just don't think they're going to win by +5.5. So. Or -5.5. So we'll see. I've got, you said Penn State had a down year last year. They did. We'll see. Mike Ursich, he's coming over from Texas. He was at Ohio State before this. He was the offensive coordinator, passing coordinator, and the QB coach. And he broke down the Wisconsin defense twice 2 years ago. They put up 431 yards and 492 yards against them in the Big Ten championship.
A lot of yards.
Yeah, a lot of yards. So he went from Ohio State to Texas. Now he's at Penn State. I think that he's going to have this team ready to roll. Last year, some players quit before the season when they realized, all the COVID protocols and COVID stuff, whatever. I think that people are sleeping on Penn State, and I'm not saying they're going to win because I don't think they're going to win, but I think that it's going to be a closer game than this, maybe a field goal game, and whatever. So if you're a Wisconsin fan, you listen to this, you see the graphic, whatever it may be, don't come after me. I think you're going to win the game. I just don't think you're going to cover the spread. So.
Nice.
It's a lock.
I've got Michigan and Western Michigan. I've got Michigan at -17.5. I have some pretty fond memories of season openers against Western Michigan. There was one where there was like a weather delay, and the game actually got called early, but we were up so much. It was just a great start to the season, and obviously how the season has been ending in recent years, Jack.
Yeah, great.
So. Start of the year, a lot of optimism. We got Cade McNamara as a starter. We got J.J. McCarthy pushing him. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh had a little bit of a contract restructure. A lot of new assistant coaches. I think that's going to help. I think I'm hearing good stuff out of fall camp. Michigan has 35 active players on NFL rosters, and a lot of those, obviously, you got Brady and Henne who are still in the league, but a lot of those are produced by Harbaugh. And I think that we're still recruiting well. So there's a lot of new players I'm excited to see. But yeah, I think Michigan covers that.
There you go. Well, you said you have 35. I just Googled it literally when you said that. Ohio State has 75, so that's cool.
Yep.
Speaking of which, Ohio State -14 against Minnesota. This is today, Thursday. If you're listening to this on Thursday, they're playing tonight. I'm excited because we get to watch this game. Like I said earlier, we might not be able to watch every game this year. But lock it in all day. Ohio State -14. This receiving core is unreal. They're PJ Flex himself. He said this wide receiver core they have might be the best wide receiver core I've seen on one football team. So Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. I mean, those are the two big studs. And I'm excited to see Marvin Harrison Jr. His dad was a beast. Supposedly he came in early. There's I don't know. This team's going to be legit. New QB. Coach Day is a QB whisperer. I'm not worried about that. Not a lot of film on CJ, but supposed to be similar to Justin Fields, so I'm excited to see that.
Great news for Michigan fans.
Yeah, And whatever. Ohio State's defensive line, Zach Harrison leading the way. Haskell Garrett, they're just that's what Ohio State's known for nowadays too, is that defensive line, that offense, and our secondary is always the question mark. So who knows? It might start slow. Don't tweet me if they start slow, but I think they cover this easy. Maybe a slow first quarter, but Ohio State's always a second half team. Unless you're playing Michigan, then it's a 4-quarter game, and we just win it start to finish.
I also love how you guys just have gotten like the best. Like you got Harrison, Zach Sawyer, like just the best defensive ends like every year. Just
the factory over there.
Super.
Shout out Coach Johnson.
Super fair. So for my next one, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, I'm taking the over at 64.5. Sam Howell, I think, is going to be. I know everybody's talking about Spencer Rattler. I think he's going to be the best quarterback in college football this year. I know that's a hot take. UNC lost their top 2 running backs and top 2 wide receivers, but all 5 offensive linemen return, and they average 6'5", 325. So I think that's important for Sam. Football is obviously one of the trenches. So hostile environment, Virginia Tech. Last year's game was 56-45. I don't think it's going to be that high scoring of an affair. That was 101 point total, but I think it's going to get close.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to take the over. I'm also taking the over in my next pick, Clemson and Georgia in Charlotte. This is one of the best games of the weekend for sure. But I think this is going to be an offensive showdown. Kirby Smart going to let quarterback JT Daniels just play at a high tempo. And you know that Dabo down there doesn't like to mess around. DJ Uiagalelei. I think I got that. I phonetically wrote it out. Uiagalelei. I'm Ungagalei. Work with me. What do you think?
I mean, I'm just glad I didn't have to pronounce it on the all name.
I figured
game.
someone had to attempt it. But yeah, I mean, he had 429 yards last year when he came in against Notre Dame because Trevor was out with COVID or whatever. So I think that he's got some talent there. So take the over. I think that this is going to be a great game to watch regardless. I didn't want to bet the spread, but take the over. So there you go.
Notre Dame. Speaking of big game, a lot of good games this weekend. Notre Dame and Florida State. I am also going to take the over at 55.5. Mackenzie Milton. It's his first game back. He had that terrible leg injury at UCF. I did not think he was going to be back. He was the 2-time Offensive Player of the Year in that conference, and then obviously transferred to Florida State. And then Notre Dame has Jack Cohn. I think they're both going to put up a lot of points.
Wisconsin transfer.
2 stud quarterbacks. Very happy for Mackenzie that he's back, and I think it's going to be a shootout.
There we go. This is the last game of the weekend. It's Monday night. The Lane Train, Hotty Toddy, Ole Miss taking on Louisville. I have Ole Miss plus 10 going on a high-scoring game. Too many question marks around Louisville. I'm sorry, Braswell. I know this is not you hate Ole Miss being a Mississippi State guy, so I'm going with Ole Miss.
Bama versus Miami, not your Miami, Florida.
Miami
would be a slightly different spread if that was the case. I'm gonna take Bama at minus 19.5. New quarterback in Bryce Young, De'Aaron King. He had his ACL injury. He rehabbed well from that. But Bama's defense is going to be ridiculous. Crazy stat for you. Alabama has won their last 19 season openers and has won their last 10 neutral site season openers by 25 points per game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a smart person would do what you did, but I'm taking Miami in the points, 19.5. I think that Alabama, obviously, they don't rebuild, they reload. But they lost a lot of firepower, including Mac Jones. Bill Belichick, one of the greatest coaches of all time, just made announcement starter and cut Cam Newton. Devontae Smith, Heisman Trophy winner. I think that it's a new team, a new Steve Sarkisian's no longer there as the offensive coordinator. They got Bill Butch O'Brien. And I think that it's going to take some time to get things moving there. And I don't know if they're going to win by 3 touchdowns. So I'm taking Miami in the points. I think Alabama's going to win. I'm not saying I'm not an idiot.
I mean, they're number one
Yeah,
preseason.
but I'm taking the points. We'll see.
All right, well, let's keep it rolling into our CFP picks and our natty picks.
Yeah.
I think we were pretty similar.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are probably similar.
Yeah.
But you go first.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm going to take Clemson for winning it all. But I also have Bama, Oklahoma, and Ohio State. I thought about throwing Iowa State in there. I thought about, going outside of those 4 teams, but I couldn't. Like I just feel like they have the best road to get in there.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the same 4 teams. So that's fun. I don't have those in the final. In the championship, I've got Oklahoma and Ohio State. I think Oklahoma has never won a CFP game. I know Oklahoma's never won a CFP game. I think this year's the year. I think that they play Alabama. They beat Alabama in the CFP semis. Ohio State Clemson is like my second favorite rivalry, but besides the team up north over there, and I think Ohio State's going to take them down. This receiving core, I'm telling you, from Coach Day is just stupid, and he's going to get them in line. And Ohio State, taking it all. I mean, come on. If they're a top 4 team, I gotta have them riding all the way. This is the year. It's a new year for Alabama. New quarterbacks across the board, minus at Oklahoma. I'm telling you, Ohio State, this could be the year. They're trying to get that second natty. All these other. Oklahoma doesn't have a natty in the CFP era, but it's our time to shine.
I will say I guess I would take Clemson to play Oklahoma in the final, and then Clemson winning. But you got to trust PJ Fleck when he talks about receiving course. Yeah. So we're gonna be going to Madison, obviously, to kick all this off. Yes. We are super excited again, hence why we're wearing the bibs, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But Jack, I think you have another tradition you want to talk about.
Yeah, jump around. That's something that's the thing I'm most excited for while we're there. If you know Wisconsin, you might know jump around, but I'm going to give you a little history lesson. Started on our October 10th, 1998, Camp Randall Stadium. At the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, Purdue. They were playing a Purdue team with Drew Brees, and basically they threw it on the speaker, and people started jumping up and down. The athletic director of marketing and promotions at the time said it looked like a bunch of popcorn kernels just jumping up and down, red and white popcorn kernels, up and down, boom, boom, boom. But actually, some of the cooler parts about it was the marketing department intern, Ryan Sundrup. He was a tight end for the Badgers who was injured at the time and could no longer play. But he was tasked with coming up with the list of popular songs that they could play during lulls in play. So Sundrup and his buddy, who was a bartender at Wando's, which is a place that I think we might check out. We were told it's a pretty cool spot. I guess it's still around, or was around back then. He showed up to Wando's, and his buddy was bartending, and told him that, he got his first assignment and what it was. And his buddy's like, all right, let's take some coins from the cash register, throw it in the jukebox. And they basically were just like putting on different songs and seeing what the energy was like in there in Wando's, and being like, all right, throw that one on the list. So they said that jump around got some people moving, got the energy going in the bar a little bit, and so that's pretty much how it originated. The marketing department played jump around the following game, and then the rest of the season, and then they're like, all right, well, we don't know if this is going to be something that sticks around or not, and I guess the next season they fired it back up, and people were amped and ready to roll. So jump around, end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter. We're going to be wearing this crazy outfit. Yeah. Jumping up and down the student section, hopefully. And, that seems like a little backstory for you. I didn't know any of that. I know you sure didn't either.
I mean, I actually did know some of it.
No, you didn't.
More in depth. I do research. I'm a college football fan.
You didn't know any of it.
What I'm going to talk about real quick, I will say the first time I ever saw these was at a Michigan game, and I think it was when I was shooting some videos, and I just saw a bunch of like college kids from Wisconsin wearing these, and like Michigan had like people will wear there are maize and blue overalls, there are like crazy game day outfits, but these These are wild. These caught my eye. So for these, it's been said that these bibs give the vibe of you are equally at home in the classroom, at hot yoga, or lubricating the family tractor.
Yeah. Been there.
So in terms of the history of it, they've been a part of Badger game day since the 70s. They received a mention in the 1979 Badger yearbook.
That was a good yearbook.
Good yearbook. Whoever was on that editorial staff crushed it. And they were with denim overalls. They were kind of a fashion statement in the 80s, and then they've kind of become less rebellious. Talking about bibs here, and more tied to school spirit. So the red and white ones are very, very historic.
Vertical stripes make us look tall too.
Yeah, and slim. You got
things we're not.
You got more of the modern look there with the roll up kind of tapered.
I can't be tripping.
Yeah, tapered look. I'm more of the Janko jeans, baggy style. I think that's probably how we're gonna wear them.
Yeah, no,
on the trip.
Feels good. I feel loose.
We got them from University Bookstore, another place we're gonna go check out.
Yeah.
Maybe try to get some other merch, and obviously other schools have these, but I would go as far to say is that Wisconsin is the most iconic in terms of I've seen fans wearing them, and it's very much part of the game day tradition. So I'm excited to be a part of that.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. I like the recap there. I'm excited for our trip. We head out today, if you're listening to it on Thursday. We are excited. We are going to Omaha, or not Omaha. Oh, my God.
Are you recording over there?
Are we still in Omaha? We're going to Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. Supposedly it's a beautiful campus right on the water. We're going to eat the food, drink the beers, go to the game, live it up. So if you have any suggestions, ideas, whatever, feel free to hit us up. Keep us updated on sports. We're not going to be able to see every game. Send some stuff our way. What else, Pat? You got anything else?
Yeah, just send us stats during the games of games that we can't watch. Just kind of do that part of the job for us. Yeah, there you go.
Because we will be coming back on Tuesday and giving you another podcast, a little recap episode, Tuesday, Thursdays from now on. Make sure to follow us at Still Eligible on social media. Tell your friends, please. Spread the word. If we get to 5,000 Twitter followers, the man is getting my face on his arm. So we got to make sure that happens by December 12th. So any help you can do with that, please and thank you. So we will.
Looking forward to just having a lot of fun this weekend. It kicks off 15 straight weeks. So yeah, like Jack said, follow us on social media and looking forward to upping it to 2 podcasts a week.
Boom. All right. See you next time.
Appreciate you.
Hey, it's Jack. Appreciate you listening to today's podcast. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music. Make sure to follow us on social media at Still Eligible. We'll see you next time.